A lot of people criticize vegans for relying on supplements to be healthy, but what they don't mention is that a lot of farm animals are also supplemented with essential nutrients. Also, not to mention the fact that there are many instances where the general population, so vegans and meat eaters alike, are advised to take supplements such as vitamin D in the winter, especially if you live in the UK, and folic acid in pregnancy. An example of supplements that are added to farm animals is iodine, and this actually has quite an interesting history behind it, so I thought I would share it because it's super interesting and you might enjoy it. So goiter is a swelling of the thyroid gland and it causes a lump in the neck, and this can be due to an iodine deficiency. And goiter was once really widespread across the UK, but only in certain areas, so much so that there was what was called a goiter belt, which ran all the way from the West Country through Somerset and up into Derbyshire, and it also had two offshoots in North and South Wales. And this is the case all the way from the 1800s up until the 1960s. Now, because of this, the Medical Research Council urged the government to adopt what was called an national iodisation programme, just as had already happened in other countries, and this would have been through, for instance, iodised salt. But no action took place. Then some research in the 1920s showed that supplementing dairy cows with iodine could help improve their reproductive performance. So because of this, iodised salt licks were introduced for dairy cows, as well as fortified feed, iodine fortified feed. And also, alongside this, there was iodinated casein to promote lactation and iodophor disinfectants, which all massively increase the iodine content of milk. Now, on top of this, there are also some policies put in place to help increase milk production and consumption as well. And so because of all of this, iodine intake massively increased in the UK. In fact, so much so that there was actually some concerns about toxicity from having so much dairy milk that was now fortified with iodine. Iodine intake was also increased through enrichment of meat and eggs as well, but interestingly, consumption of naturally iodine-rich foods such as seafood decreased during this time. But the goiter belt was no more, so it was a very successful initiative in that sense. And now, still today, dairy cows and dairy are a major contributor to iodine intakes in the UK. And this is because of all the things mentioned before. So today, still iodine fortified feed for cows contributes to iodine, contributes to the iodine present in dairy milk. This actually leads to fluctuation due to seasons. So in the winter, there's more iodine in dairy milk than in the summer. And also organic milk tends to be lower in iodine than non-organic milk. There's also iodized teat sanitizers that are used, and this also contributes to iodine being in milk. In fact, it increases the amount of iodine in the milk by 16% if those teat sanitizers are used. And there's also a genetic component to some cows being slightly higher, having slightly higher milk in their iodine than others. So there you go, super interesting history about iodine in dairy milk. I hope you found it interesting.